Howdy, y'all. Eric here, Driveline World's OK steering wheel holder, and I trying to trying to boot up. I'm not really well slept, but it don't matter. This past week has been. I hope it's not a fluke. I hope it's not a fluke, because you guys know that Prime has been dragged through the mud through social media and all that over the last couple months. And that part in and of itself is nothing new. We've been going through that for years. But what makes it uniquely new is when rates are going down, freight's going down, gross revenues are going down. That's what makes it particularly deadly. And I think I mentioned in either a video or two ago, maybe a couple videos ago, that I was starting to feel that with my trucks. I was starting to feel rates coming down, maybe a little bit slower, certainly in some areas. But I'll tell you what, this last week has just been crazy. And it may be that I'm just in, as my friend Lyle would call it, the matrix, which is the Midwest. I have a triangle for it, but I'm assuming his is pretty similar to what my map. I've got a triangle on a Google map that basically shows me where my best average rate per mile is, and it goes right across. It goes down into Kentucky, Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, and that's separate from the meat patch, but that's the Midwest. If I can run short loads in the Midwest, even though they're a pain in the ass and they'll beat you up and wear you down, that is the most profitable for me and my trucks in my experience of almost 7 years pulling refrigerated freight with Prime. And man, that has proven itself in spades this last week. I'm really quite dumbfounded, to be honest with you. So here's the summary of how I say this past week. This week, so today is Tuesday. So the pay period ends tomorrow, Wednesday. You guys may not be seeing this until Wednesday, but the pay period that's ending Wednesday or tomorrow for me, maybe today for you, or maybe yesterday for you. What date would that be? That'd be the 18th. I did 1,500 miles, total miles, loaded and empty. I did 4,500 gross revenue, and I had a 34-hour reset. So now I know some of you are going to bark at me and say $4,500 revenue, that's pitiful. It's not pitiful if you're only doing 1,500 miles. It's not pitiful at all. I would do that every week. Because I own this truck. And if I only had to put 1,500 miles on it every week and do 4,500 gross revenue to the truck, that's what Prime's cut out of it and everything. 4,500 to the truck on 1,500 miles. I would do it every week. And do a 34-hour reset. Now, granted, I don't like 34-hour resets. I actually loathe them. The only reason I did one this weekend is because I dropped a load early Saturday morning, and then got a load that was picking up anytime Sunday. Anytime from midnight to midnight, all day Sunday. And because that one only had to go 210 miles by 9 a.m. on Monday, there was no point for me to go pick it up Sunday morning and pay for the reefer fuel all day. So I was like, forget, I'll just go park and do a 34-hour reset and go get it at the end of its window, and not have to pay for the reefer fuel. I'll just pick it up and drive it straight through. So that's what I did. I did a 34-hour reset, went and picked it up. I got to the receiver over in Ohio 5 hours early and got a dock immediately. And then went and ran a short load from Ohio to Indiana now, which is the load that is behind me right now. Picked it up this morning. It's paying $3 a mile, and it delivers tonight. Actually tomorrow morning at 0100, but I'm going to take it in. I can take it in early because it's a drop. And then this call it luck, fortune, maybe rates are up, I don't know. But whatever this is continuing into the next pay period because I'm already pre-planned on a load that's picking up, drop and hook, where I'm dropping this one off and it's paying almost $7 a mile. It's paying, I mean, I was on the phone with Jenna and I literally just had to laugh about this. Let's see here. Geotab's all messed up, by the way. And while I'm on that note and pulling this up, so I was talking to some drivers in Discord that don't have the Geotab app. If you use Geotab, you can put the app on your phone and log into it. I don't know if you guys know this or not. I don't think Prime advertises that, but you can. And so even when Geotab is like not connected to the truck, or if the tablet itself is frozen, I can still manually put myself in drive using my phone. So little tip there if you haven't done that yet. So it is paying, so it's 1 mile deadhead because I'm dropping off at the same place I'm picking it up, and it's paying $653 total for, how many miles is it? I think it's 90 miles. Why is it not showing that? I think it's 90 miles. Let me look. Miles to 93 miles. Yeah, 93 miles for 653.86. The line haul is $628.41. The reefer fuel surcharge is $1.73, and the fuel surcharge is $23.72. So almost $700 to run a 93 mile load, or 92 miles, whatever it was, 93 miles from Indiana back to Ohio. So it would be real, and I'm in the mode right now of starting to, trying to prep my route home. So I'm hoping to be able to just kind of hopefully that matrix just keeps going for another night or two, because dang, man, would I like to have 6,000 or 7,000 gross to this truck? Of course I would. But if I could do 4,500 on 1,500 miles, man, I'd rather have that. I'd rather have that because I don't have a truck payment on this truck. So I would much rather go that route with it. But again, that's before any of you mouth breathers, start losing your shit right now thinking, oh, he's blowing smoke. Like I said, that has not been the norm. In fact, the week before that was a struggle, man. The week before that was a struggle. I mean, it's, it's still pretty profitable, but it was a real struggle. I was running splits. I had one really cheap rate load. And then, some average, when I say average, $1.95, $2 a mile. And it required 3 splits in 1 week, so I wasn't getting good rest, and I was just trying to hustle and try to get some revenue on the week. And so to have this week ending the way it is on the 1,500 miles of 4,500 and a 34-hour reset, it was just like, wow, did that really happen? Did that really happen? And I'm only 60 miles away from my 90, which is where I'm picking up the next load. So I'll go 60 miles to the 90. They have parking. My load won't be ready till 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. So I drive 60 miles tonight. That's it. Drive 60 miles, drop this off, then drive 93 miles tomorrow night because the appointment's like 0200 on Thursday morning for the receiver. So for the next 2 nights, I'm driving a total of 150 miles. And between this load that I have, this load I have was 250 miles for 277 total miles for 984. So between this one that I have and the next one, I'm doing a total of under 400 miles for $1,500. Like 370 miles for $1,500 between these 2 loads. So yeah, I'm really hoping to stay in the matrix. I know some of you argue, on running the West Coast loads, I'm sorry guys, I just can't buy it. Like, if you've got something that works really good for you, and I know some of you do, and I know some of you showed me your math, and I know it works out really well for you, and that's great. I'm not saying it can't work for anybody. It can. If you do whatever works for you. I'm just saying that in my experience, when someone tries to tell me that the Midwest is not the most profitable for prime refrigerated freight, I can't buy that. I can't buy that. There's no hills. Well, very little hills. There's some over in southeast Ohio, but they're not. It's not like mountains or anything like that. You know what I mean? Like, there's no hills. You've got cheap fuel over in Illinois, and I haven't fueled since I came out of Illinois. And I mean, these little puddle jumper rates, like, I'm just telling you, the profit per mile is like through the roof if I can stay in this matrix. The problem is you can't you can't do it forever. Like, I've had a really good run right now, but eventually it all comes crashing down. You'll get sent to Georgia or South Carolina or PA or something like that, and it just screws the whole thing up. Like, it's just almost impossible to just stay here for 3 weeks at a time. I wish I could, because man, this has been great. Again, I would repeat this exact week every single week if I could. And as I've said before, the only downside to having a run like this is you're constantly dealing with shippers. So you either get to drive more miles and spend more of your time on the road, or you're spending a lot more time at customers, at shippers and receivers. A lot more docks, a lot more backing into docks, a lot more backing into spots, a lot more getting paperwork, lumper fees. You're going to be doing that a lot more if you're running it the way that I've ran this week. But ultimately, I'll take it because I get plenty of time to rest between, because these are short loads, and my profit per mile is just crazy good. So I'll take it. I will say though, and I told someone this the other day, especially after that week on the video that I made where I was hung up at that customer I ended up being there, I want to say like 16 hours. I will say that when I'm running splits like that and just not really getting good rest and really frustrated with all the detention and stuff, it's those times where I kind of just want to run a 2,000 mile load and then run another 2,000 mile load. You know what I mean? Like, it's those times that really, where I don't want to deal with customers or anything. I just want to have a week where I just get up and drive, so I see the value in that. I understand that. But ultimately, for me, when I'm out here on the road, I'm out here on the road to make as much profitable, to work as many profitable miles, and to have those miles be as profitable as possible while I'm out here on the road. That's the point for me. The point is not to have an enjoyable experience, not to be entertained, not to be happy with every minute of every day. The point is to be as profitable as possible. That's my objective when I come out in this truck on the road. That's it. That's the point. Because for me, if that wasn't the game, I'd be home or doing something else. So I just wanted to tell you guys about that. Like I've said, the only times I remark about having a great week like this is when they're remarkable. So don't do no screenshots on Facebook and say, oh, he's lying through his teeth. He's saying that he gets $3 a mile on all his prime freight. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that's what I got this week. That was this week's entire run. So keep that in context. I've been really productive though, even with my downtime, because I don't want to get into too much of that. We're working on a lot of stuff. The channel members, if you're a member of the channel, you see a lot of that stuff. You know what's going on. You know what's being worked on. And I'm ecstatic about it. But it's not yet time to talk with all of you about it. So, but that time will come here in a couple weeks. We'll get there. Thank you all so much for the new subscribers. I'm approaching 9,000. I've had more growth in the last month. I mean, it's crazy. I really appreciate it. It means a lot. So we're going to keep doing it. You guys be safe, make good decisions, always drive, thrive. I'll talk to y'all soon.